clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Feel like a dynamite, ready to explode right up in the sky. I'm walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to the preseason pod, the first one of the season, and I'm joined by my co-host Rush, KingShack619 on Twitter, and Karan. How are you doing?
Hey guys, what's going on?
I have pronounced that correctly, haven't I?
It's Karan.
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 Okay.
Yep.
You are joining us for the first time this season as part of the podcast group or podcast team. So, do you want to just give like a tiny intro of yourself before we continue, or?
Yeah, sure. I'm a pretty avid football fan. Sometimes I feel like I'm more of an FPL fan than a football fan. But yeah, I don't know. I've been playing FPL really seriously over like the last 2 or 3 seasons, and yeah, I had like moderately okay results, but I'm just really into it. I'm into I'm into like a bit of a data nerd. I'm a bit of an XG merchant. But yeah, I just love the game.
Fair enough. Nice to have you on. Which means now you guys will be seeing a bit more stats heavy, different graphs and everything. And so we're hoping that that'll be something different compared to the other pods out there on YouTube. Now the United game is going on. I think I've got it on the side. Maybe you guys also have it. I don't know.
I've also got it on the side.
Yeah. So we will, if something happens, we will speak about it. But for now, today we're going to be discussing with regards to goalkeepers and defenders. Having said that, let's probably start goalkeepers. Now, before we go into goalkeepers, season ticker. This is thanks to FPL Lane. on Twitter. And I've got this: Brighton, Wolves, Spurs, City, Liverpool, Arsenal. Top six in terms of favorite fixtures. But at the bottom, we got Villa, West Ham, Fulham, even United, Newcastle, and Notts Forest. Now, this data, in terms of how the ticker was made, was taken from FPRef. Based on that data, and that's how it was sorted. Based on how United are performing, I think they might be somewhere between a red and a yellow, currently under Ten Hag. But we'll see.
I've got a question.
Yes.
Is this relative fixture difficulty or just fixture difficulty?
That I am not fully sure. I think
Okay.
this is at the moment. It's not the exact FPL fixture difficulty.
Yep.
But I think it's based on like the stats from FPRef.
Okay.
So it's somewhat similar to the fixture difficulty you'll see on FPL as well.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. What do you guys think? Top 6 opening fixtures?
I mean, cities should all be just green,
Yeah.
really. So that doesn't really matter too much. I'm surprised to see Crystal Palace, Arsenal. Crystal Palace a pretty bad fixture for Arsenal.
It
They've got
depends
a
on
pretty
which
good
Arsenal
run.
turns up.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting as well. I think Brighton's at the top of the list. And Sanchez was obviously, because we're talking about goalkeepers now, he was actually a pretty decent FPL option and has been over the past couple of years. Interesting to see how Cucurella leaving might impact that defense a little bit as well, because he has been a big part of the defense.
Yeah.
But I think they're one of those weird teams where they got cheap defenders and cheap goalkeeper options, so they're always in FPL in contention at some point in the season, even as a filler or just in wildcard teams and things like that. So yeah, I don't know if you're going to see multiple Brighton defenders in your lineup, but I think Sanchez is probably the one player I could think of who would probably be.
I think they're just a well-drilled team. They're just like Potter's just a great coach, and I don't know. I think they're just better than the sum of their parts. Sanchez is always going to be an option, I think.
But they have lost.
Like they'll defend by just keeping the ball and being well drilled. So even against big teams, they'll get results.
Yep, fair enough.
Yeah, I mean Sanchez always gets good points, like bonus points, and even like Dunk and Webster, and whenever they have that, who's the defender who we all had him
Dan
at some
Burn,
point.
but
They
he went
lost
to
Burn to
Newcastle.
Newcastle.
Yeah, Burns gone to Newcastle as well. That's right. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Brighton go. Wolves up there is again. I mean Wolves.
Wolves, I'm not really convinced by, to be honest.
Neither. They're a dire team to watch. Yeah.
There's a whole Neto bandwagon going on for midfield, but I'm not really convinced by Wolves, to be honest.
Don't rate it.
Yeah. Spurs, though, and we'll be speaking about Spurs as wing backs.
Sorry. Before we skip over Wolves, I think Sa. Is he 5.5 or 5?
Jose Sa, actually, good question. Let's go to the
because if Sa is 5, then it's okay, I guess.
Jose Sa is 5 million.
5, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think he's a really good keeper.
Yeah.
Even if Wolves are a really chaotic team.
Yep. Fair enough.
Right. I think Sa, even last season as well, he was in teams. He was in FPL teams. He's always in FPL teams contention. Coming back to Wolves defenders, I mean, we might as well talk about it because they are second in the list apparently.
Yeah.
They've lost Size. Am I right? Size is no longer in Wolves.
Oh, I wasn't aware.
Let me confirm that.
Size is left.
And
so has Marcel, who was all FPL options in previous seasons.
Oh, so Ait Nouri is probably a decent option.
Yeah,
Size
there is a bit of interesting. So Semedo is obviously still there.
Okay.
Cody is still there. And Ait Nouri is probably going to be in that starting left back spot.
Yeah, because Marcel was his competition.
Exactly. So, I mean, we shouldn't discount Wolves straight away. I think they're just some team to watch out potentially and see how they perform. But especially with all these transfers and players leaving, there's probably a bit more stability around the defense, which could be good for FPL.
Yep.
Fair enough. Spurs, City, Liverpool, Arsenal. This is the teams that everyone's targeting. And we will go into a bit more in depth because there are a couple of things we want to discuss. But just going over them, you got the likes of Brentford, and also I want to touch on Leeds, because I think Leeds' fixture run isn't too bad. Now, obviously, defensively under Bielsa, they were a mess. Under Jesse Marsh, they kind of improved a bit. And you've got in Brentford, you got Rhea as a goalkeeper option, and in Leeds, you got Ian Mesley as a goalkeeper option.
Yep.
Both, I think, 4.5 million this season. Now, Brentford have signed a new goalkeeper, Strakoschka from the Bundesliga. I don't know which club he was from. No, not Bundesliga.
Yeah.
From Syria. My bad. From Lazio.
I'm not too sure. I imagine Raya will still be first choice,
Yeah.
but it's not like Strakosha is not like a clear backup either.
Yep.
So Raya becomes a little bit more risky.
Mm-hmm.
I really like Melia just because
Yes,
you
that's what I
mentioned
said.
him.
Yeah.
I think he's a. I don't have the stats to back this up, but I'm pretty sure Melia was a bit of a bonus point magnet last season.
We can check that. So
Yep.
let me move actually to the next slide because this will help us. So this is last season's stats basically. And I've got the top 20, and as you can see, bonus points saves. Melia 286 bonus point saves. Now, how much did that convert into bonus points? I'm not really sure. I need to check that out.
Oh, that's PPS.
Yeah, but in terms
Yeah.
of accumulating those points compared to most of the other keepers, he does get that. So
He's got 146 saves, right? Is that the last one,
yes,
or is that just the?
that's saves. 146 saves in the season.
That's a shitload of saves. Why doesn't
I
he have
think he
more
made the most
FPL
saves
points?
of the entire season last season.
I think because Leeds couldn't keep a clean sheet.
Yeah.
That was the problem.
Yeah.
So he would just make a million saves and still concede because
Yes.
there's only so much he
Yeah.
can do.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, if they tighten up defensively, he he is a good keeper. He's a really big guy. He's skinny,
Yeah.
but like he's got a huge reach. So
Clean sheets, yeah, like you said, clean sheets is the issue. Can they keep clean sheets this season? I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
They had a preseason game against Aston Villa, if I'm not mistaken, and they lost only 1-0. I think he did save a penalty, Coutinho's penalty, so that's something. But in terms of goalkeepers, right? For options, what are you looking like now? There's this whole Mendy bandwagon also going on. You guys convinced by Mendy as a Chelsea asset or even as a goalkeeper option?
I think I'm really convinced by Chelsea's defense.
Yeah.
I think like Koulibaly is like as good or better than Rudiger. And I think are they getting Ake? Who else are they?
Not really sure at the moment.
Have they
Nathan
signed any other center
Ake,
backs? No, right?
no.
I think so.
Okay.
I agree as well. I think before they signed Koulibaly, I was a bit iffy on Mendy.
Yeah.
Yes.
And at 5 million, even though at 5 million he was kind of good, I was still a bit skeptical with Koulibaly. And if they do sign another legitimate centre back,
Yep.
with either
Yeah.
Kimpembe or whoever it is, who's
Kunde or something.
someone, I reckon you got to double up on minimum double up on Chelsea defense. You just can't.
Yeah, I think it's just like it's Mendy at 5, where
Yep.
he's gonna get decent amount of clean sheets, but not a lot of BPS, right? Versus a keeper like Melia plus the 0.5 to invest somewhere else.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm falling more on the 4.5 side.
So Melia got 8 bonus last season.
Okay, it's not much.
Mendy had 3 bonus.
So it's funny because Mendy's not even on this list, right? And this is last. Oh, he's on the list.
He's on
halfway
this
through.
list.
But you know, I think I saw some stats after as well. So Chelsea obviously is the better defensive team.
Yeah.
Yep.
When it comes to goalkeepers, you want
People
that
making saves.
right mix of clean sheets, obviously.
Yeah.
That's guaranteed.
Yeah.
But you also want them to have an impact FPL wise as well.
You
Yeah.
want like that Ramsdale where he went and got like 3 bonus, 2
Yeah.
bonus, and making
Yeah.
clean sheets as well.
Yeah.
Or you want the Martinez of 2
Yes.
seasons ago,
Yeah.
The good
where
thing about
Villa was still letting enough shots, but
Yeah.
he was also good enough.
Yeah.
Yes.
The good thing about Mendy in Chelsea, I think he's uncontested compared to Araya
Yeah.
in
Yes.
Brentford, where you just don't know. Melia
Yeah.
again is probably uncontested as well. But when it comes down to Melia or Chelsea, I think I don't know. It depends how you want to play it. If you want to be the safety option of Mendy, is what I feel like, and you're gonna get out of 10 games, there's a higher chance of you getting a clean sheet with
Yeah.
Mendy compared to Melier.
It also depends on the price brackets, right? Because
True.
we're all trying to fit in as much value as we can, or much
Yeah.
expensive assets as we can in terms of forward and midfield and defense as well.
Hmm.
Are you going to get a 5 million goalkeeper, 5.5 million even goalkeeper? We don't know. Some people might actually go for that set and forget for the entire season. I don't think you really need to do set and forget, given that we have technically 3 wildcards.
Yeah.
You could go the 4.5 option, and again, this probably brings the whole points per million, how much you're earning in terms of value. Like, you probably get like that 0.5 million between a 4.5 million goalkeeper and a 5 million goalkeeper would be quite huge, because you could use that 0.5 somewhere else to maybe get a extra, like a better midfielder or even a better forward. You never know.
Like if that 0.5 is the difference between like a Perisic and like a Chilwell,
Yeah.
then I would have the 4.5 keeper all day.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah. I know. So we did speak about the 4.5s, but someone who's always been good in FPL, but priced at 5 million now, Nick Pope at
Yes, I was going to
Newcastle.
mention him. Yeah. I'm a big fan of Nick Pope.
Mhm.
I think if Burnley weren't so shit, I would have owned him more than I already did, and I
Yeah,
did own him quite a few times.
yeah.
At Newcastle, he's definitely got a way more solid defensive unit,
Mm,
and he's just an excellent keeper. And sometimes he's clearly the man of the match.
mm,
Like he's got that ability. So Pope at 5, it's a little expensive, but if
Hmm.
Newcastle had better fixtures, decent fixtures, I'd definitely take him over Mendy at 5.
mm.
Just because
Yeah,
I
I think
think the lack of clean sheets is offset by the BPS probably.
I think Pope at 4. If he was 4.5, he's a no-brainer.
Yeah, he's priced well. Yeah.
Yeah,
100%. And I think if you look at his past seasons at Burnley, how many times have we had him in those like free hit teams and wildcard teams whenever
Yeah.
Burnley's doubled?
Yeah.
He's been like the number one go-to player. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think I agree with Karan in terms of Newcastle, and the Newcastle's on the rise. They're a team to sort of watch, and he's on a better team, much better team than Burnley
Mm.
in terms of higher prospects. And yeah,
Ramsdale last season. Do you think he can replicate the same thing, or do you think no? At
I
the latter end
mean,
of the season, I would say he was pretty bad. For the latter
yeah,
end of the season, in terms of what he offered and everything. But Arsenal have very kind opening fixtures.
that's the only reason I would maybe consider.
Yeah,
But Ramsdale was pretty bad towards the end of last season.
yeah,
Even before that, I saw a bunch of stats on Twitter showing how he overperformed
yeah.
quite a bit. Um,
So,
so
so in that case, would I guess you would prefer an Arsenal defender
I'd
over
probably have
Ramsdale?
I'd probably rather have Tomiyasu or Ben White
Yeah,
than
or
Ramsdale.
Zinchenko nowadays. You never know.
Oh, Zinchenko, yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know what he's going to be priced at,
5
but
million.
yeah,
He's already
yeah,
5 million.
I mean,
The City
yeah.
price is 5 million.
yeah, I don't think he has much attacking threat. I think I'd rather have Ben White. Like,
Okay,
yeah.
fair enough.
Yeah, interesting with Ramsdale. I think last season, I have a feeling like we all jumped on the bandwagon, and also he had a point to prove as well to become
Yep.
the number one keeper.
Yep.
And then towards the end, he maybe got comfortable, and also Arsenal didn't sort of finish where they should have gone, I guess. But yeah, it'd be interesting. I think you're right. It's a very fixture-driven thing, and I don't see, anyone going wrong with starting Ramsdale for the first 8 games and deciding to wildcard him out after.
Yep.
It's not the worst option really.
Fair enough.
Again,
I think
depends on the
Arteta's Arsenal are very like defensively solid,
Hmm.
especially against the worst teams.
Hmm.
So like, it's like probably like a very almost predictable clean sheets, source of predictable clean sheets. So
Hmm.
that's why I wouldn't count him out. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Your top 3 keepers. Who would you pick if you were to give 3 keepers? Or even like, would you just say look at 4.5 or?
You go first, Rashad. I'm still
So
tossing
I
up.
mean, look, okay, if we're talking, I mean, usually I would have gone if we think about long term and for
Yeah.
like the first half of the season,
Yeah.
I'd probably have gone with probably someone who I think would service me better in terms of value.
Yeah.
So I probably would have gone for a 4.5 keeper, in which case either a Raya or Sanchez to start off with. Because if you're looking at those long term, you're not really worried about the goalkeeper spot. You're really focused on the other slots of building team value. But because this is going to be a bit different in terms of 3 wildcards, and again, this is just my thought. I'm actually considering going with the $5 million keeper and then swap over at some point because we have the option to do it.
Yep.
I wouldn't tend to typically waste a transfer on a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Unless I'm wildcarding, but because we have the option, I'm kind of exploring that sort of premium.
Yep. It could
You would
work.
say goalkeepers.
Yeah.
In which case, I think Mendy and Ramsdale are sort of proven good teams, and we're talking about good fixtures, and the team hasn't really changed much for Arsenal. Chelsea's defense is looking good. I am considering one of those 2 players for the first 8 weeks at least, or the first start to start off.
2-0.
Yeah, I think Mendy is like a legit option. I think taking up a Chelsea slot could prove to be an issue. But like I definitely normally always just get a cheap keeper, and the way I play, I take lots of hits, so I don't want to have to waste any more transfers on a keeper. So I want to get a keeper that I normally don't have to worry about until wildcard or something.
Yeah, fair enough.
So for me, Melia and Sanchez are probably the ones I'm looking at the most.
For me as well.
In the 4.5, yeah.
For
and
me,
then maybe I'll look at Mendy or Pope. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's good.
For the 5.
For the 5 million, yeah.
Yeah.
For me as well, like 4.5. I think Melee right now, mainly because Raya's minutes are uncertain. But I'm also thinking of pairing it as a 4.5 and 4 million option. Like I'll just go with Melia and not the. Before I would have gone with the rotating keeper option, but because of the fact that we can wildcard and switch it.
Yeah.
Like it's a shorter term. I'm thinking just go with, because these fixtures are also good. Just go like a 4.5 and a 4 million, and use that money
from the
elsewhere.
same club.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking right now. Things could change, but yeah, that is the current plan. Now, I just wanted to add this as well. I got this from FPL Fraser on Twitter. This is goalkeeper stats from 2017 till last season. So basically, anyone in the green you kind of want to have, but keep in mind that anything on towards the left could possibly mean that they have less data. So like Sa, you can see right on top there. That's also because it's just only 1 season worth of data. So his shots, expected goals is much more less because of just 1 season's worth of data. But if you look at like Lloris, Pope, De Gea, all on the extreme right, overperforming. Those are the kind of keepers you kind of want to target for good returns in terms of points. Obviously, we've spoken about Ramsdale and Melia both in the red, but I would also attribute Melia's one to maybe Leeds being pretty bad last season.
Yep.
And also even the season before in terms of defensive wise, they are quite bad. So keep that in mind in terms of picking keepers. But thoughts from this?
We missed Gaeta.
Yes.
Who's a legit option.
Oh, I remember getting Gaeta last time. It was a bad move for me.
I mean, Crystal Palace are a very, very good team, I think, under Vieira. And I think they're very, very organized team. And Gaeta's a good shot stopper as well. So when they have a decent fixture run, they're definitely an option.
Yeah.
But who does Leno play for now?
Arsenal, right?
No, he got transferred, didn't he?
He got transferred. I just can't remember to who. Did he go?
Well,
Is
Leno...
Premier League. Fulham.
Fulham?
Okay, yeah.
No, I think it's Arsenal apparently. Oh no, Fulham. My bad. Sorry, Fulham.
Okay.
Interesting.
Probably not gonna touch.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't go like the promoted teams. I don't think you should probably touch the promoted teams just yet. I think they have fixtures that will swing in like game week 4, game week 5. So until
another team we missed, West Ham. I think they just got Areola.
Yes, he's had Premier League experience before as well.
And he I think he was very good at Fulham like 2 seasons ago.
Yeah.
And then he played at PSG, right? So he's like he's top class keeper. So it'll be interesting to see who makes that spot. There's Fabianski or him.
Yeah. I think Bernardo is not official yet in terms of Fulham.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay.
I think look in terms of West Ham, Fabianski has been there, and I think it'll be interesting because Areola definitely did play, and he was in the bench the season before, wasn't he? the whole time after his sort of
in
breakout
PSG,
season. No, not in PSG. I
in
think
Fulham.
in Fulham.
I think there was that he at the start probably, and then I think after that he got a couple starts.
Yeah,
I need to
right.
confirm. I'll check that, but yeah, keep going.
He's a solid goalkeeper, and I think if he does start, it'll
Yeah.
be great. I don't see why Fabianski would be benched. That's the problem. It's like they're gonna have to fight for it. I feel like I don't know. It's really hard to know who's gonna be the goalkeeper for the whole season.
I think Areola is too good to be on the bench the whole season. I think Fabianski always goes through shit patches of form. So there
But
will
see,
be
that's
there
what we
will
thought
be a
about. Like,
period where
yeah, but that's
Areola
what I thought
becomes.
about. See, for like Dean Henderson,
Yeah.
for example,
Hmm.
he was too good to be on the bench for United.
Yeah, but he
Hitting a
did well at
jealousy.
Sheffield.
He was excellent, Sheffield.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like he could have been the United's future, but he was, he's one of those players where he could have easily started every single game for United as well.
Yeah.
But hitting a single game. Do you know what I mean? So that could be Areola.
Yeah, but he's facing De Gea, who's on like a
That's
massive
true.
contract.
That's
So it's
true.
like
That's
yeah.
true. Yeah.
Yep. So we'll see. Maybe not when Forest gets some good fixtures. Maybe he could become an option, Henderson. Having said that, okay, I was thinking a third goal was coming here, but no. Okay. Let's get into defenders because this is the talk of the town. Everyone's going big at the back. And I can
Yeah.
see why everyone's going big at the back because the value in big at the back right now is quite high.
So much more fun.
You got Trent, Cancelo, Reece James, Robertson, Alonso also still at the moment at Chelsea, hasn't gone to Barcelona yet. Reguilon, Laporte, Cash, and it keeps going all the way down. This is, I think, the top 20 I managed to get from last season from Fantasy Football Scout. So, thoughts?
There's so many options.
Yeah, exactly. There are so many options. And some people even not on this list, and I'll mention Trippier, another person not on this list because of injuries. I think he could become a really good option as well. But where do we start? Do we go team-wise? Have we go team-wise for this? Oh,
Yeah, we can go team wise.
okay.
Yeah.
So should we? Okay, let me go back to the ticker.
Yeah.
Who do we start with Spurs maybe? Because they're
Sure,
probably
yeah, there's a bit to talk about, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I think Spurs are. It could be a trap,
Yes,
right?
I would agree probably.
But maybe that's overthinking it.
Yeah.
Like Conte is very reliant on his wing backs.
Yeah.
And he does use them to create a lot of chances.
Yeah.
But they have so many options. Like on the right, they have Doherty, who's probably the clear first choice. But then just behind him, there's Jed Spence.
Who's supposed to be really good as well from Forest fans. Yeah.
Yep. And Lucas Moura, who's also can play at wing back / there's some quote floating around saying how Conte's been training him at a wing back. On the left, you have who's a clear starter? Probably Perisic, right?
He hasn't started many minutes in preseason, Perisic. So right now, I would say it's Reguilon. Let me check. Yeah.
I think if they're all equally fit, I think Perisic probably, and then Sessegnon next, and then Reguilon next. And Sessegnon had a really good end to last season.
Yeah,
he did.
And he's a very physical player, gets up and down. I feel like he would fit Conte's system quite well. So, and when your team is built around wing backs and you have 5 subs, I expect him to, target the wing backs with the subs.
100%. Is Emerson Royale still going to be there? Is he?
Oh yeah,
he
is
he's
too.
getting minutes.
I forgot.
But we'll have to
he's
see.
there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perisic hasn't got any minutes yet, but we'll have to wait and see because from what I heard before I think he got a knock at the end of last season. And also I've seen quotes and everything with how he was managed at Inter. He did get subbed out quite a lot. And I think something we probably have to consider now is with the 5 subs rule. Would that mean fullbacks are more prone to being subbed out?
It's the pre-60-minute subs that I'm scared of.
Yes, that's the one issue.
Yeah, that's like.
There's the clean sheet as well.
Yeah.
And then all the BPS and everything. It's gonna be horrible.
Right. That's the only thing is I think so the cup fixtures and Champions League fixtures and all don't start until like game week 4 probably. Yep. So you have that like initial start to not worry probably too much about 5 subs unless you get managers just rotating too much. But I wouldn't expect that to happen. because it's just one game a week. But after that is only when I think we probably might have to be careful about the 5-sub rule.
I haven't really been following Spurs preseason too much, but
Yeah.
I think Doherty is probably the best option.
Yes, at the moment probably, as long as Jet Spence
Yeah.
doesn't take over. But I think at the
But
start,
also,
maybe.
he's coming from the championship. I don't expect him to straight away take the spot.
Yeah,
So
fair enough.
Yeah, I think the problem with the Spurs wing backs is that we know that they're going to be utilized a lot. It'll be interesting to see again how Conte manages the minutes, because again with the 5-sub rule, a team like Spurs where their primary focus is going to be through the wing backs, you'd expect a lot of rotation, especially if one of them aren't performing on the day. You might see a half-time sub, because I think this whole 5-sub rule in Premier League, because it has been done before, it'll be really interesting to see how managers use it. You're probably going to see a lot more subs happening before halftime as well, which could be really bad for us FPL wise.
Yes.
Because you're just not going to know which player is going to play more than 60 minutes. Forget about 90 minutes. 60 minutes is the number.
And 60 minutes is what's more important for us in terms of defenders as well.
That's correct, right? So for me, when I'm looking at the Spurs defense, I'm hesitant choosing any wing backs because I don't know, are they going to play the full minutes? I'd rather choose an Eric Dyer or something because I know they're going to play 90 minutes. Do you know what I mean? Like there's less chance of rotation.
yeah.
But I mean, look, you're not going to start Eric Dyer.
Is Dyer
Yeah.
5?
Dyer's 5.
Yeah, I mean that's like 0.5 too expensive for me, right? Because I don't think he has any goal threat. Maybe a little bit at corners, right?
No, he scored a goal in preseason, which looked good, but
Did
he's
he?
pretty much just
Okay.
going to sit back.
He
And just
scores
an
those
update,
bangers.
Sanchez scored as well, by the
Scores
way. So,
bangers.
you know.
I think Cristiano Romero is probably an okay option because he gets a lot of BPS because he
Yeah.
passes out from the back quite a lot. I think last season I saw some stat where he had like one of the highest pass completion percentages amongst like defenders. So yeah.
Sancho 3-0.
Sancho Martial assist as well.
Oh yeah, wow.
We'll be looking into that next week.
Treble incoming.
Treble up with United assets. We'll see. Okay. Spurs heavy rotation, very risky.
Yeah, Doherty. If I had to pick one,
I would say
Doherty.
Yeah, I would probably also at the moment I lean towards Doherty. Maybe later
Over
on.
Perisic. Yeah.
Perisic, I think for me, Perisic, I need to wait and see.
Yep. Same.
Let's actually, we'll go to Chelsea, but we'll first go Liverpool. Pretty straightforward, maybe.
I mean,
think
Trent
so too.
is like Salah.
Yeah,
for me.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Let them forget. Yeah.
That's it.
Robertson, not enough money in the bank elsewhere.
I think the slot matters a lot.
Yes, the Liverpool slot, third Liverpool slot.
So would I rather have Robertson or Diaz or maybe a Jota if he becomes an option?
Or Darwin Núñez.
Or Darwin Núñez. Yeah, exactly. So because of all that, I think, I don't know.
Fair enough.
It's interesting. I mean, we'll come back to Liverpool in a second after we talk about City. I was just thinking about this before as well. I mean, we just spoke about in our chat about Cancelo and that slot of Cancelo as well. And we'll probably ease into City now as well. I actually was thinking as well that I feel like Robertson and Trent double up is actually could be a thing, in the sense that if you look at Liverpool, the team hasn't changed. Mane is gone and Núñez is in. That's pretty much the only change. They've been defensively very solid, very strong. Their centre backs are in top form as well. I expect them to have more clean sheets this season than they did last season. I don't know if having Robertson and Trent, who I think could be getting more assist points with Núñez in centre, could be a thing. And I actually I'm not against the idea of starting the two of them.
I think it's definitely a thing. I think it's definitely very viable.
Yeah.
I just think that taking up the spot thing makes it not as good as it looks, but still good.
Yep.
City though, like you've already touched on City. Obviously Zinchenko is gone. That has brought up talks with regards to now Cucurella being as an option. He I think is 5 million if I'm not mistaken, Cucurella. But you've got the likes of Cancelo, you've got Walker as well. And from City fans' perspective, from what I asked, they would still say that Walker right back Cancelo left back. And then, like we discussed before in our chat as well, that there is a high chance that Cancelo plays most games and rotates between left back and right back, and it's between Walker and Cucurella if he joins for that other wing back spot. So would you
I
go?
think
Yeah, go ahead.
Cancelo's high minutes comes from the fact that he can play both spots to a very high level.
Yeah.
But I think in Walker is definitely like first choice against in any game that is even remotely difficult.
Yeah.
Because the way they play, Walker is like pace is used to defend. So I don't know, maybe Cancelo loses his left back spot in the tougher games to Cucurella eventually, but probably not straight away, right?
Yeah.
Pep has a history of slowly betting players in.
That's true.
So Cancelo is probably, safe for now.
Would you
And
go without Cancelo for the season?
I think that's viable just because he's so expensive. I think
Yeah.
if he was 6 or 6.5,
Yeah.
probably never.
Okay.
But at 7, I think it's very viable to not have him.
Fair enough.
I think Laporte is an underrated option.
Yes. Him or even
'Cause
Ruben Diaz if you wanted a bit more secured minutes, I guess.
I don't know what's going on with Diaz. I don't know if last season it was because of the hamstring injury that he wasn't
Playing too much.
played as much.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really know. But Laporte has a lot of goal threat, like way more than Ruben Diaz. I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure if the stats back me up, but that's what I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Laporte definitely scored a few more goals last season as well on set pieces. He was a monster.
Yeah.
I think Diaz's injury kind of boosted his value a little bit, which in the game weeks he wasn't there. But coming back to Cancelo, I think he's just too good a player to like not having a team.
Yeah.
And that's probably the reason why. If you look at the underlying stats of even his touches in the final third,
His underlying stats are really good.
Yeah. His
Yeah.
touches in the penalty area is the highest.
He's like a box to box mid.
It's crazy. He could potentially play like CDM easily, and
Yeah.
still. So, I think you're right. I think to start off for the first half, Cancelo will be a very, very safe option.
Yeah.
But as the season progresses,
Yeah.
You will probably have to make some decisions.
Ash makes a really good comment in the chat. He says Cancelo was the second highest Korean fullback last season and the season before. So
yeah. I mean, again, I'm probably not going to go without him, but the high price makes it viable to have a strategy without him. That's
fair enough.
I think.
Chelsea, shall we get there? Chelsea?
Yeah. Chelsea.
Now Chelsea's fixture run, I would say Chelsea have a fixture run until like game week 10 or something that's actually really good. Obviously Spurs in game week 2, but everything else, I think their fixtures are pretty good. They've just signed Koulibaly. Before Koulibaly, I wouldn't have been too convinced by Chelsea. But they've just signed Koulibaly, and you sent me this with regards to Reece James and Ben Chilwell, the comparison.
Yeah, I think just quickly as a prelude to this.
Yeah.
I think it's super dependent on whether they keep playing 5 at the back.
Yes.
Because I did hear some rumors about Tuchel wanting to transition to 4 at the back.
Yes.
So I think if they don't sign another center back, then it's still open whether they play 4 at the back. If they sign another center back, I'd be pretty confident they're going to play 5 at the back. If they play 5 at the back, then we all know how great, at FPL both the fullbacks are.
Yeah.
I think if you this graph is from both the fullbacks last season, and Chilwell has more of a goal threat and James is more of an assist threat. And I actually did the maths, and if you multiply the XG by the FPL points for assist and goals, they're like exactly the same.
Yeah, fair enough.
Right. And then Chilwell, like you can see, he drastically overperformed his actual goals scored.
Yeah.
But his career, he overperforms his XG by like 25% because he's and the eye test sort of backs that up because he's just such a great finisher with his left foot.
Yeah.
So I think they're both like really good options. It's just about whether they play 4 at the back.
Yeah, that's the one thing. And Chelsea generally in their system, their left wing back always tends to play like a forward or a second striker. Like you got Marcus
he's always
Alonso,
in the box.
Chilwell, like they're always in the box. But I agree with the system is probably what is most important in that specific case.
Does Koulibaly play on the left or the right side? Does anyone know?
I'm not really sure.
I
would assume
right
left.
Footed, right? So I assume he's on the right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not really sure on that.
I
But
have a question for the two of you, obviously. So
go
we're
ahead.
talking about if Chelsea's only going to be good if it's 5. So what happens if they are going to play 4 at the back? Do Chilwell and James become? Are they still an FPL option?
There are options, but they become drastically worse. I'm sure. Yeah.
Depends on. I don't think they'll be too attacking. The other thing is,
Yeah.
I don't think Chelsea. Like, I don't think Thiago Silva as a centre back is good enough in a 2-back system. With regards
Possibly.
to
Yeah.
not enough pace being one issue, and that might
Yeah.
lead to the wing backs being a bit more back to try and protect
Hmm.
the 2 centre backs. Koulibaly, I think, does have quite a bit of pace. Thiago Silva, I'm not really sure, which is why even in PSG they did play a 3-back system.
I think last season there was a time when they were struggling to create chances through anyone other than the wing backs,
Yes,
which is why all this talk of a 4 at the back has popped up.
but now they
Because
have
when you go
Sterling.
5 to 4, you're essentially freeing up an extra man for
Yeah.
midfield or attack. So
But do you think that the addition of Sterling and Gallagher back, and obviously with Broha, and they've sort of bolstered their attack that they
But
can do
Broha
that
is
now?
going right to West Ham
yeah, I don't.
from the looks of it.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
I guess
I think
Gallagher and
Sterling just takes I don't know, Pulisic's spot, I
Yeah,
guess.
or Timo Werner, depends on.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
we'll have to see. I think we'll probably have to monitor preseason a bit more for Chelsea.
Yeah.
We
Uh,
should sell
I
them
think
Ronaldo so that I can buy Martial for my team.
the
but
good thing about Chelsea, and I guess before we move away from Chelsea,
Yeah.
is that in terms of if they do the 5 at the back system, they're pretty much similar to Spurs.
Yeah.
But we
Yep.
just know that there isn't much depth in those positions compared to Spurs. So you're not going to have
Yes.
much rotation risks.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And that's I think the biggest upside with with either one of them you're seeing on the screen in terms of
Yeah.
Ben Chilwell or Reece James.
the other thing is, the Ash method. So Chilwell is the pick, then over James due to ownership leverage. For me as well, I think I would prefer Chilwell a bit more in terms of expected points per 90. He's higher for me. The other thing is Reece James has the ability to play right centre back as well, and we saw it last
Yes.
season quite a few times.
Yes. Yeah.
Which, if Chelsea needed to go to a back 5,
Yep.
and they can put Loftus-Cheek or someone on that right
Yeah.
wing back spot.
Hudson-Odoi.
Oh, Hudson-Odoi. Then
Malang Sarr.
Chilwell becomes a much more
Yeah.
bigger option. Going forward as a wing back spot.
Yeah, I agree.
Is Sterling gonna play left or right wing? I think at City he played left wing, but that's because
I
of
don't know where
Mahrez,
he's
right?
but I don't know where he's going to be playing in Chelsea. We'll
Yeah.
have to see. He might still play left wing, but we'll see.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Chelsea is one team I'm waiting to watch to see how they form formation because it could be really interesting. We could be seeing 3 Chelseas in our team. Yeah, I mean, I think that's
Depending
the
on
team
maybe.
we need to watch out for.
I think if Sterling's on the left, he's gonna take up some of that like far post position. He's gonna from Chilwell, you know.
Yes,
So
that could be, unless he cuts
I-
in quite often, but we don't know.
yeah, I don't know if it makes him worse, better. So something to keep an eye on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fair enough. All right, that's Chilwell.
Any of the centre backs we're talking about?
I don't think so.
Chelsea centre
Not given the fact that they have
No, right.
like full
Koulibaly
backs.
is at 5.5. I think you're really, unless there's some big goal threats coming from them, you're really looking just for clean sheets, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then that's all you're aiming for.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe Chalobah if he
Mm.
locks down a spot or something.
Yeah, at 5 million, can't go wrong
Yeah.
too much. Should we talk about United? Dalot in specifically, mainly.
Yeah.
4.5 million.
today.
Got an
assist
assist
today.
today. They've kept a couple clean sheets.
What's happening in this game?
It's
Oh,
3-0 up.
Wow. Yeah, the boys.
Would you have Dalot in your starting or
No.
no? Okay, fair enough.
I think he's a very good option.
I think it's a very
I-
good option, but would you start with him though? In your team, if at 4.5 million.
I think he's in most of my drafts.
Yeah. Okay.
But
fair
I don't know
enough.
if it's my bias or not. Because I don't see Van Bissaka.
No,
Like I
don't
just
see him
don't.
starting at all.
I don't see him starting
No.
in this system.
I think they're trying to get rid of him.
Yeah, I think
because,
so
He
too.
hasn't been played. They're
Yeah.
trying to get rid of him.
And
What's
there's no one
interesting-
else.
Yeah.
There's like Ethan
I mean, look-
Laird. You know?
Yeah, I think Della will play. Della will start. It's just I don't trust United's defense.
Fair enough.
But for 4.5, if he just gets on the pitch, I'm happy. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. I just you just like firstly, with the fear of United's defense until they get to a point where I'm comfortable that they can keep
Yep.
Clean sheets.
some level of clean sheets.
Yeah.
You're pretty much forgetting the clean sheet factor with
Yeah.
Dallo,
Yeah.
and then you're only hoping for attacking returns.
Yeah.
Now, the attacking returns could only be based on how United form, and
Yeah.
I think I'll be interesting seeing how United go in the transfer window, and if if they're going to keep Martial, and if Ronaldo's not going to be there, how the attack forms, and
Yeah.
if Dallo then sort of I can see is going to play a bigger part in the attack, then maybe at 4.5 you can't go wrong. But I'm not rushing to get Dallo into my team.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
We need to see
Yeah.
how Lisandro Martinez changes his defense as well.
I think Dalot is quite naturally attacking. Every
Yes,
time I
he is.
watched him play,
Yeah.
like it's just his final ball sucks,
It's a bit of a this thing.
or
Yeah.
it has sucked.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he's got a decent shot.
Yeah.
I mean, like more that his cross doesn't seem to be any good.
Yeah.
So yeah.
For Malaysia, same thing. Oh,
I can see Shaw.
still playing games. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if it depends which Shaw shows up, but
Yes, that's true.
Shaw is very technical. I think he'll work well in Ten Hag's
Yeah.
system if he's in good form.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah,
I
I think
agree.
Malasa looks good. I think the competition with Shaw is the issue.
Yeah.
Big issue.
I'd agree.
He played Tellers at centre back. Do you see that?
I would say
Yeah.
that was because I think we didn't have any other centre backs.
Oh, okay.
But that's
I was
the
gonna
reason.
say if he
No.
played Tellers at centre back, maybe you could play Shaw at centre back. That makes more sense.
I'd assume that Teles would eventually probably leave. I don't know. We'll
Sorry to
see.
interrupt,
Yes.
but just speaking of United's defense, they just considered a goal.
Oh, did they?
against
I'm still
Did they
waiting to
consider
see
goals?
the
Jeez.
goal.
Sorry.
Goal.
All right, move on. Next slide. Next slide.
Okay. Okay. Next
I guess
team.
the
Next
answers
team.
United's defensive
Um,
problems.
So we spoke about City. We spoke about Liverpool. Yes, I just saw the goal going. Oh, sad life day here.
That's because Tellez was marking someone.
Oh, that was Teles marking someone. Fair enough. We spoke about Liverpool, spoke about Chelsea, spoke about Spurs, spoke about United as well. Arsenal defensive assets. Zinchenko moving there at 5 million could be out of position as well. Could play midfield.
I don't really know, man. Is he going there to play left back? Is he going there to play centre mid?
Well, Arsenal correspondent Roy said that he could fill both positions in terms of midfield and left back if Tierney is injured, which Tierney does get injured quite often.
Yeah,
So
more often than not.
Exactly. For 5 million, maybe could be an option. Tomiyasu for 4.5 million, a bit more cheaper, or just no Arsenal defense at all.
Is Tomiyasu's nailed, right?
At the moment, yes, I would say
Yeah,
so.
so I mean, I like Ben White. I think he has a lot, again, high pass completion percentage. Like he
Yes,
always gets
which
1 or 2
leads
bonus
into
points.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I probably like Ben White over Tomiyasu. Is Ben White's nailed too, right? It's like White and Gabriel's first choice.
Saliba is there as well, but I think
He wants
I
to
saw
leave
some-
apparently.
yeah, I saw some press where I think Arteta was saying something about Saliba is in the plans.
Mm.
Yep.
Like he's definitely he's not there for Arsenal to let them go, but he can't be guaranteed first team minutes, which is what he's after. But I can see him playing, obviously with the 5-sub rule, playing a lot. I think starting centre backs would probably still be Ben White and Gabriel. I think with Tomiyasu, I think he's nailed. I don't know. Is he
He's
nailed?
not attacking enough though.
No, he's a
exactly.
completely defensive right back.
Yeah.
Correct.
But he's just
So,
nailed. That's
yeah,
what you're
he
getting
is.
for the
Yeah,
price.
yeah.
Unless he's injured, then it's a problem.
Right.
I still have more faith in Tomiyasu than Dallo. Let's put it that way.
Okay, fair enough.
For me, it's like White, maybe Tomiyasu, then Zinchenko.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. For me, Arsenal, I have to wait and see. I don't know. Maybe. I would probably I'd probably go Tomiyasu a bit more because of the fullback, but we'll have to see.
But I think Zinchenko is one player because if he's kind of like a Dallas, where he can play that that midfield position as well.
Yes,
obviously Arteta knows something about him, which is why he's
he's
rushed
gone
and
after
got
all the
him
City
there.
players. Yeah,
So
I don't really remember watching him too much at City. I don't know.
I don't remember
how
him being.
attacking.
but he's probably going to Arsenal for guaranteed game minutes. So we'll have to see what he brings to the table. But yeah.
But do you guys remember? Like, was he quite an
He's
offensive fullback?
No, not. I wouldn't say any fullback in City was defensive because they were both
offensive.
Both offensive fullbacks.
Right.
Like all of City's fullbacks are always supposed to be offensive. Except for Walker, who is a bit more defensive than offensive. But if he plays in that midfield spot, and I don't think Arsenal are playing a one pivot CDM or anything. It's probably two CDMs or something like that.
Xhaka and
Yeah.
or like a Partey might
Yeah.
maybe play
So we'll have to see. I don't know. We'll have to monitor preseason and see how it goes with regards to Zinchenko.
Oh, so he's
I
not
think
going to play like a holding mid. He's going to
Yeah.
play more like a box to box.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Well, then, okay, maybe he's a better option than I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, he's definitely a player to watch out for because they obviously spending
Yep.
so much money on him.
Yeah.
I feel like they're not gonna. And if Tierney is gonna be injured, he'll probably play a lot more left back.
Yeah.
And if Tierney's back, and he might be, I don't know. There's clearly some plans with Zinchenko because obviously he wasn't getting enough minutes in City, and Arteta's brought him over for a reason, not to keep him in the bench.
Yeah.
My understanding was that he was a centre mid who wanted to play centre mid, but Pep kept playing him at left back
Probably,
Yeah.
because
Yes.
there wasn't cover, right?
Yes.
So I
Yeah.
would think he's going to Arsenal to play midfield.
Midfield probably.
In which
But I
case
don't
he'll
know.
be no better.
But
Yeah.
they don't have Tierney, so he's going to end up playing left back. Yeah.
That's exactly the problem.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
Mm.
Finally, to like wrap up defensive stuff, Trippier, then
Yeah.
you've got
Cash.
Cash, Luka Dean, both Aston Villa and Newcastle not too bad as well, I guess, in fixtures. Are you considering any of these players?
Yeah, I'm considering both. I'm a big Trippier fan.
Mhm.
I think he's pretty key to how Newcastle play. Actually, they've got
Yeah.
quite a few big guys. He's got an amazing right foot, right?
Yes.
So he's just every free kick is like an opportunity for points. And
They've signed
last season,
Botman as well, Newcastle.
yeah,
So,
Botman and Dan Burn.
yeah,
That's,
I mean, you couldn't have better people to aim for.
Chris Wood.
Yeah.
Chris Wood, man. So, so Trippier is definitely an option.
Yeah.
Any kind of decent fixture run and Trippier at 5, I'm considering.
Fair
I think
enough.
the only issue is that he's like very injury prone.
Yes, but if he's fit, I think he's probably one of the best fullbacks you can get in the league.
I think so. But I'm not sure how good his open play threat is.
So I'm just getting him for that set piece threat.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd agree. I don't know about open play, but that set piece rate is like too like hard to like not go there. Like he's just like a master at set pieces. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's unbelievable.
um,
I don't know what other Newcastle options there are.
defensively, I probably only go stick with him unless you want to go Nick Pope in goal.
Yeah, yeah. That's
But then
what
you
about
got
Tajay?
Tajay. I don't know.
Tajay.
Matt, didn't you have Matt?
Mateus Tajay.
I don't know. I'll have to wait and see on that. Yeah, Matt Target, but I don't know about him. I think Trippier is still a much more better option.
Trippier is much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you got Aston Villa, who also here have where is Aston Villa? They have a decent first 4.
Their first 3 games are really good, and
Yeah.
then they have a run of hard fixtures.
Yeah.
So
And then the back after.
Yeah.
a few of my drafts have cash in it
Mhm.
just because of that, what Rishan just said, the first 3 games.
Yeah.
But then it's kind of like you're booking in a transfer.
Yeah, quite
and,
early
and
on defense as well.
I don't love doing that
Yeah.
because you always have more fires to put out.
Yes.
So yeah, like every time I watch Villa play, Cash seems fairly advanced and in the box and taking shots.
Mm.
A lot of his shots are very low XG because he
Mm.
takes them from like quite acute angles.
Mm.
But yeah, and Digne, I don't know, man. I've sworn never to get Digne again. That's
I'd
Yeah.
agree,
that's all-
but they're very
that's all I'll
attacking on
say.
the left side when he's fit. That's the problem.
yeah, but he's never fit.
Yeah, he
The
was thrown
thing
last
with
season.
Cash is, I think that's well. Firstly, I got to pay him my favor because last season he saved me in one of those.
Oh
game
yeah, I
weeks where he
remember.
and
Right.
I think I captained him or something.
Yes.
I had him.
What?
I got a
He did, and he got him returns in the double game week.
return from Cash.
Oh yeah, he got like 24 or
Yeah,
something.
exactly.
Yeah,
That's the week.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy. But Jokester, I think also I saw some other stat was he was one of the like highest. He had the most number of minutes as a defender or something. There was some stat
Oh,
around
Cash.
that.
He's absolutely
Yeah.
nailed. Yeah.
So I mean, again, with this 5-sub rule and there's not much competition for him, that could be another thing to
And
watch
Aston
out
Villa and
for.
all don't have European fixtures to worry about.
Oh yeah, that's a good
And-
point.
Exactly. So I think once the fixtures sort of get better, there'll be a time where we could consider Cash.
And Gerard's system relies on the fullbacks to provide width.
Yes.
Like that's how he played with the Rangers as well. It's like a narrow midfield diamond and then 2 strikers, and
Yeah.
then the width is all from the fullbacks. So
Yeah.
it's just
Exactly. So
it's just about
it
how good you
works.
think Gerard is as a coach. I think.
Fair enough. All right, so that's defense. I think we'll probably because we'll try to wrap it up. We're almost at an hour. We spoke about all of this. Karan, this is your draft.
Yeah.
The bigger the back is definitely up there.
Yeah, I'll probably end up changing this a lot. I'm not that convinced by big at the back, but I don't really think there's that many amazing midfield options. I don't really want to have Salah, Son, and KDB.
KDB, what? Oh, you mean Haaland?
Yeah, or
whichever.
KDB.
Oh, KDB.
Like I don't
Okay.
really want to have 3 premiums
Oh,
because
okay,
I
don't want
think
to, yeah.
I think when you pay a lot of money for a premium, you're paying for the
Sacrificing.
captaincy. You're paying for the captaincy
Yeah,
option, and
yeah.
you can't captain all of them.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So this is like a very placeholder draft. A lot
Yeah,
of this is
fair
going to
enough.
change.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
No Haaland, interestingly, going against the massive EO ownership.
It's just a wait and see. Like if
Okay.
I get wrecked, I'll wildcard. Like, it's not
Fair enough.
that's always the plan.
Fair enough.
But,
I mean, the first game isn't too bad. It's West Ham, so
yeah,
it's not a bad game to like not have Haaland in. But yeah, I'm a bit worried by that.
I really want Son. Like I just don't know how you
I
fix.
also do. That's the only problem.
So for
Son's
me,
looking really
Son,
good.
Yeah.
Salah, Trent, those are locks.
Yeah.
And then you want one of the Chelsea guys,
Yeah.
right? Chilwell or James.
Yeah.
So that's already a shitload of budget.
Yeah,
And then you
and
probably
then you
want
try
a
to
City
hit-
defender.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where are you gonna get
That's
the money from?
this is all the issues that I'm facing. That I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
Yeah. So
So I think these are the issues why people are choosing 5 at the back, because 5 at the back, kind of mitigates a lot of that.
yeah, fair enough. We'll see how your draft evolves over the next couple days.
I never thought I'd have an FPL draft with Andreas Pereira in it. I just wanted to say.
Same, fair enough. Fair enough. I think all three of us have it.
Yeah.
Rush, draft number 50. When you said this was draft number 50, right? I thought of something. I saw this meme on Twitter today, and I'm gonna put it up because I thought it was a pretty funny one. Let me get it up. If I can get the correct slide up. This one. I was like, bro, this is definitely
Yeah, this is gonna be all of us at some point.
That's gonna be all of us, 100%.
the mud. I don't know. We'll see. We'll eventually go like, I had him in my draft, but it didn't back.
Yeah.
Yep. So we'll
I
see.
just want Game Week 1 to start now. I'm done. I'm done tinkering.
Just put me
Like,
out of
just
my
get-
pain.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, look, I've been tinkering my draft as well. I think this, in terms of players, very similar to what most people are sort of having in terms of template. I did have Haaland at one point. I had Kane at one point. Now I've kind of resorted to sort of the front three, and again, this is constantly changing. I think I know what I want, which is pretty much going to be what the template is going to be. I think, at least to start us off. I'm interested in seeing what more of these transfers have to offer, because I think that'll give us a bit more clear idea of those sort of. I want to get more nailed on players. So, like, for example, if Cucurella's coming to City and we know that he's going to start left back at 5 mil, that could be. I just want to get more understanding on that.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, this is really just punt City at times.
There's a lot of faith in Arteta here. That's all I want to say.
That's true.
I know.
Oh, Arsenal in general.
Triple
Roy would
Arsenal
be proud of me. Roy
is
would be proud of me.
crazy in my opinion.
Look, I think I actually probably am not in these 3 players. I'm not a big fan of obviously Martinelli or Tomiyasu, but it's just fill-ins. They're probably like the worst.
Martinelli's not a bad shot. I didn't even think of that.
He isn't in terms of 6 mil. He's actually pretty decently priced. I'm just still waiting to see if I really want to get like a Rashford or a Chelsea midfield in as well. In which case, I probably look to downgrade a Darwin or a Jesus. I just want to get more cheaper striker options. That's a problem. Like, I feel like if Martial or even Wilson, Tony, those sort of $7 million strikers come up, kind of opens up a bit more in the striker space. Again, none of this matters if we're forced to go with Haaland or Kane.
Yeah, fair
In
enough.
which case, we're screwed.
Yeah.
If we're forced to go with Haaland, I have to. I don't know. I guess I have to get rid of Son somehow. Like
Somehow.
So
Yeah, we'll see. Meanwhile, me, I've gone for 3 million right now.
Wow, my God, Pereira starting.
No. He won't start. I'll probably have Undav or someone, but I don't know. I will. to cut corners, I'll have to probably reduce the defense a bit more. Obviously Zinchenko will go to someone else, maybe a 4.5 like a Ben White.
No Cancelo, huh?
I know, right? That's what I'm a bit
Can't
scared of.
fit him in, right?
I can't fit him in if I want Haaland. And I think Son or Kane are going to be template breakers. They are the ones who people are going to avoid, and they are the players who are going to get you that massive rank boost at the start.
I think I would rather have Son, right?
I also would, but I see when it's like early on, I don't want to go massively risky against like the whole, like I would rather be template early on a bit more.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to set yourself in a position where you're massively disadvantaged if Haaland just hammers a hat trick or something at the opening debut.
Yeah, but you got the whole season.
You got the whole season, but
Yeah.
I,
Yeah, it's
I don't want to be
psychologically. I
know
don't
exactly. Like I started off at like a 1 million, 2 million rank just because I didn't own Haaland, and
Do you know what? We had our end of season.
Just be annoyed for the rest of the year.
Go ahead.
At our last end of season podcast, my goal was to start off safe and strong, and here I am. It's so awesome.
But yeah, that's the one issue. So we'll have to see. But the problem is I don't like the midfield, and I don't like my forward line option. Now, if Ronaldo leaves, I need to figure out how to fit Martial in this team. So I think Martial at 7 million is a really good option.
It's really good.
Yeah,
really, really good.
That's when I'll probably try and upgrade Undav to maybe Martial and then cut corners elsewhere. I don't know how I'm going to cut corners elsewhere, but
that's the problem.
I think Zinchenko can be a Ben White, right?
Yeah, that's another 0.5. So I'll have 1 million in the bank. I need to find another 0.5 somewhere else.
Yeah, it might not be enough.
Yeah, so
that's the problem. Like if these premium players like start scoring at a rate, it's gonna be really hard.
Yeah.
Like I actually think dropping Salah is probably the best option at that point. Just hope for the best with Diaz, because that actually will be the.
That's true, and I like there are quite a few 8 million mids as well that I have, I'm unable to get to with this draft. That's the only.
I just want to point out there's no Mane. Yeah, who's like the other selfish player. Diaz is not as selfish as Mane.
Yeah.
This is all signs point towards Salah having a good time.
I know.
Maybe.
I know.
Like I wouldn't even consider it. But
the problem with this Salah, there's going to be so much more attention on Salah now. Every single manager is going to devise players to, that guy on that side, block him.
Yeah.
Triple threat him.
They tried, but it still didn't work.
I mean, they've been trying to do that for ages, right?
But
we completely missed a team, by the way. We missed Leicester.
Yes, I think that will come in a couple game weeks early on in the season.
Because I think James Justin is another decent 4.5.
Yes, I think when people make their first wildcard draft, you'll start seeing more Leicester assets.
Yeah.
So that'll appear.
And imagine starting with Jamie Vardy. That'd be a interesting template breaker. Because their run of games in the first 4 or 5 is not too bad, and Leicester always does well at counterattacking against a big team. So
and Leicester ended really strong as well last season.
I think Jamie Vardy for the first 4 to 5 is like my dark horse pick.
Arsenal, Chelsea, United,
or like a Barnes, So.
I think probably after game week 5 you'll start seeing more of Leicester. That's just my feeling, but we'll see. Cool. So that's it. Something I wanted to do is, how we did the podcast team last season? We haven't made a draft or anything of that sorts. Do you want to do just a quick draft of that?
Yeah, cool. We'll do a quick one.
And then we'll just call it from there. So this is the podcast or the team, but it's just a draft. In goal, who do you want to go for? Now that we've spoken about goalkeepers and
how do we do this? Just the consensus from the pod? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we try to keep it slightly different to what we have in our team. So some players which
Nick Pope, baby.
I was gonna say Nick Pope. I actually thought Nick Pope straight away.
Yeah,
we try to be
he's probably the best of the left field picks.
It's like players we would like to have in our team.
But we don't have the courage.
Exactly. That's why this team is there to take risk. And then a 4 million goalkeeper.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, whoever.
Okay.
Probably the backup. Dollar probably.
Yeah. Defense.
Trippier, or is he too template for this?
I don't know. Like we've been without Trent in this team for a long time. Last season.
Doherty. chuck Doherty in there.
Okay.
Oh yeah, let's just triple up with Spurs.
By the way, for
We'll
people
get-
watching, don't like this is not. This is a completely riskier
is the
team that
risky
we're
team.
going for. And we managed to get like 260k. Sometimes forgetting about stuff and everything, but we ended up there even without Trent for long periods of the season.
That's right.
So Doherty won.
I
Robertson.
mean, yeah, but that's just trying to be different for
Yeah.
the sake of it, right? Like,
Okay, so we'll go Trent. Or is it too expensive?
We'll keep going down. We'll come back to it in case there's any more options. What about Cucurella? Or is he?
If the sign-in happens, then we'll think about it.
Yeah,
Again. But I
that's-
probably wouldn't get him because I don't think his minutes
mean,
are.
What about
Cash
Itinerary?
is okay, I guess. Like
Yeah,
I have him in my
but-
actual draft.
But
so,
first three
yeah.
games, after that is a nightmare.
yeah.
I'd ideally
But
want
look at those
them-
first 3 games.
Yeah, the first three are good. Okay, we can probably have him for now, and then we'll think about it later.
I think
What
Frank
about
Lampard's
Itinerary
teams
for
cannot
you?
defend.
Itinerary?
So
Yeah, I think because we talked
Oh, yeah.
about Wolves having a very strong.
I agree. Aidner
Yeah,
is good.
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Salah, we have to pick Man United player.
Okay, okay.
Okay, fine.
Like,
This is
we
actually
have
what's
to.
going to be the cheapest defensive line I've seen
Yes.
on
it will
like every single draft.
be.
We can have 3 premiums.
Yeah. What about Brighton defender? Let's go with Brighton defender since they have. a
They've
pretty
lost
good-
most of the defense. I wouldn't
I
actually
don't
go
know.
there.
I don't know who's
Well, aren't they first on the ticker list?
other than
for-
Sanchez.
They are,
I don't
but
know who's.
I still wouldn't like it. They lost
That's true.
Bissouma. They've lost potentially losing Cucurella and all. So
We can
not-
just double up on Newcastle defense and go Trippier.
Yeah, I think
Who
I don't mind
else?
Trippier
I
actually.
can't believe we've gone without a single premium defender in this team.
Wow, this is so good. This is like last.
This is what we
season.
want. This is what we want.
This is reminds me of last season.
Okay. Who's
Okay, let's go Haaland and Kane and Son and Salah and actually have.
wait, okay. Is anyone with me on Raheem Sterling?
Oh, I
Yeah,
don't mind it
not
actually.
Sterling.
Because honestly, like Raheem Sterling, I've got my eyes peeled on him. Like I just
Yeah.
think he's such a great player.
100%.
Yeah.
He's a good fixture run.
His
Chelsea.
stats are amazing, and he's gonna play 90 minutes every
Yeah.
week at Chelsea.
Do you want forward line Haaland or Kane or probably Haaland? No? We don't have City players. We can't go without City players in this team.
Yeah, go Haaland. Is that even feasible? Yeah. So yeah.
Well, we've just got
might-
4
might
premiums,
be.
so
Yeah, that's true.
He actually might be.
we get a 4.5 forward.
Yeah.
Yep. Undav.
Undav is 5.5, I think.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so let's just go Greenwood for now.
Greenwood. Yep.
4.5 midfielder in Andres Pereira.
Yep. Walks into the team.
Where is he?
Just search
I'm
it.
just gonna go Fulham. And then 11.5 close. Ashford? Sancho?
Wait, are we gonna have
Martial?
4 playing defenders, or are we gonna play? Yeah, we're gonna play 4.
I don't
Four
think we'll
defenders,
have
right?
4 play. Oh. We could go.
This is
We can bring Martial in here. Something like this. So we could
okay.
do.
Yeah.
Look, okay, hang on. Okay, this is meant to be a differential, right? So do we want to have Salah and Son?
Probably not.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, I reckon get rid of one of them.
I reckon we get rid of. We can probably get rid of Salah and see what happens, and then bring in Nunes and
I-
probably a
Yeah.
premium.
Diaz can cover.
Yeah. Okay.
Salah.
Let's get rid of Salah and see what we can do with that money. See
Yeah.
if we can. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Here comes Liverpool's midfielder, Luis Diaz.
You can go Diaz Nunes.
Yeah. Diaz.
No, we can go Diaz Nunes. Double up. there.
I am so KG on Nunez. I wanna wait and see.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you want to wait and see?
I wanna wait and see for sure.
Ooh, okay. Let me bring Son back in.
He overperformed a
Luis
lot
Diaz?
last year.
Fair enough.
No, Nunez.
Oh,
yeah.
Nunes. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I would agree with Nunes. Yeah. Tony Martial. No. Probably not.
Yeah. Marshall's. Yeah.
He's on
Decent.
form.
Cool. Martial. Let's go.
He looks good. He honestly looks good.
Yeah, he
looks,
does.
Oh, we have 9.5 million. What the hell?
See the problem. We can get Bowen.
too much.
Jared
money.
Bowen.
Nah,
Gotta
it's
get
too
Jared
expensive.
Nah.
Look at that
He's
fixture one.
but he's so expensive, man. 8.5.
I think it's a bit too much for 8.5.
Like, okay, who else is
Okay,
gonna score?
who's a
West Ham?
9 mil?
We don't have a Arsenal attack. Saka?
Saka.
Yeah, okay. And then upgrade
Create
someone,
a
I guess.
defender.
Wait, so what are we playing? We're playing 4-4-2?
Yeah. So we can upgrade a defender.
Okay.
We can go Doherty to maybe
Virgil van Dijk.
Oh yeah, 2 Chelsea defense, I guess.
yeah. Or
Yeah,
Chelsea or Liverpool or
I mean, I don't know
Chilwell.
who else has premium defenders, but
yeah, we can go Chilwell or James. Who do we want?
yeah.
Chilwell?
Chilwell. Yeah, I think
Okay.
Chilwell's better, slightly
Yep.
better pick.
0.5. We could upgrade another defender if we wanted to. We could drop
I'm
one of
not
them to
loving this Saka pick.
we
I guess I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of.
What about a Leicester mid, like a Madison or something?
Madison is a good. Oh, Barnes. Barnes is a good shout, man.
probably
think
have to
Barnes.
wait though. That's the only problem. I don't like their start.
Yeah. Hey, but their start is all against. They're not bad teams, but they're all like possession-based teams,
Yeah,
and
that's
Leicester
right.
always do well. It's like Arsenal, Southampton, Chelsea. Leicester always
Hmm.
do well against like counter-attacking against those teams.
Have we
could.
considered like Mahrez and stuff, like other city
Yo,
midfields?
Mahrez. Yeah,
Yes.
Mahrez is a good shot. Mahrez is a
He
really
is
good shot.
someone we should probably think
Or
about.
Foden. Or Foden.
Mahrez
Yeah.
or Foden.
I had
Probably
them
good.
in my draft teams early on. I just wasn't sure about City's starting lineup
I-
and rotations.
I don't know what their lineup will be. Shall we have
So, okay,
Mahrez or
Yeah, this is probably one for like your midfield pod,
Yeah.
but I think
for now
Yeah.
I'll put
But I
like a
think it's-
Mahrez or
yeah.
someone.
yeah.
Now you could probably free up a bit more money and improve the defense a slightly bit more if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Like we could put Dalot to Nico Williams if you wanted to.
Guys, we've ended up with no Man United. Oh, we got Martial. Okay,
We got
never
Martial. We
mind.
got Martial.
Okay, I'm good.
And then we could either upgrade Cash or Ed Nuri.
Yeah, go ahead, Nuri to Spurs wing back, I guess.
To
Yep.
Doherty.
Perisic.
Just go Perisic, because this is our risky team. So,
Okay. Oh, now I hope Perisic plays. Oops.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, go. I mean, look
Yeah,
at that.
this is
Without Salah, the
Oh, man. I want this team.
Sterling, man. I'm excited. I honestly think Sterling is going to be such a good option at some
Yeah.
point in the season.
I reckon if he's starting from game one, he's definitely one to look out for. And their fixtures, like, there's no better time to have Sterling than at the beginning.
But like if he plays 90 minutes, I'll take Raheem Sterling regardless of fixtures.
Right, you got to switch Pope up as well.
oh yes. Yeah, this is actually a pretty good team, huh? I'm not gonna lie.
It's actually a solid team.
This is not a bad team.
No
Yeah.
Trent, no Cancelo.
If this beats all our teams, I quit.
The whole reason is no Salah. The amount of money you can use to make something
But
better.
see, this is a legit team in terms of the only fear factor is you don't have Trent or Cancelo, right? That's really the only big,
And
and
Salah.
Salah obviously.
Yeah.
But
I'd say Salah
Everyone
and
else.
Trent as the big fear factors.
Yeah, I think it's Salah and Trent. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think we can still probably get Trent in this team. Like if we cut corners in defense slightly.
Yeah.
But yeah.
and there's no point having Martial if he's not going to play for Ronaldo's
Yeah.
back.
Yeah. So then you downgrade slightly there. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Anyways, this is a decent starting.
It's a good starting point.
Yeah. All right.
Mm.
Cool. We'll end it there. Thank you
Okay.
all for joining us today. And for those who are involved in the chat as well, Ash, shout out to you. And yeah, thank you to Rush and Karan.
Awesome. Thanks for
Yes.
having me. That was fun.
Hope to see you guys soon. And we'll be back next week with midfielders and forwards. And then the week before, the following week will be the week that FPL starts. So hopefully by then we've already fixed our draft teams and we're not messing about still by drafts. So we'll see what happens. Thank you all, and we'll see you guys later.
All right. See you guys.
I'm walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting